In the last episode of The Bachelorette, the Battle of the Lukes comes to its conclusion.
One of the Lukes ends up leaving.
And the other becomes the Lukeness monster.
Dun, dun, dun! That and more on this week's episode of The Bachelorette Reaction Show. This episode starts off where the other one ended, which was just Hannah talking to both of the Lukes. And you thought it was going to reach some massive conclusion with, like, her being, oh, that's what you did? But literally nothing happens.
You know, nothing really changed. Luke
Nope.
P continues to twist the truth.
And Hannah realizes that he's twisting the truth. And that's why she walks out on the both of them.
So then Chris Harrison comes in and tells them, all right, guys, time for the rose ceremony. Hannah knows what she's going to do. Let's go.
And we haven't said this in a while, but I'm going to give the move of the night to Luke S.
So before she starts handing out her roses, Luke S says, Hannah, can I please have a word?
Yep.
And she said, okay. And he basically tells her, you need to watch out for him.
Yeah. Be smart with who you pick.
Yeah, just kind of keep one eye open with him. And then he excuses himself.
He leaves. He goes. And I think that was the right thing for him to do. Because it was obvious to him that this was the end of his story. I liked it. He took power back from Luke P. He took power back from Hannah B. Because he knows Hannah B is manipulated by Luke P.
Exactly.
I feel ridiculous with all these names and initials.
Initials.
But he knew exactly what was going on. So he said, you know what? I'm just going to wash my hands of this and move on.
Well, and she didn't beg him to stay. And
exactly.
So, I mean, here's the deal. He was going home. There was no doubt about it that he was going home.
He could tell that it was done.
So, after Luke S excuses himself, she walks back in and she begins the rose ceremony. And she gives roses to Peter, Connor, Dylan, Dustin, Mike, Kevin, Devin, Grant, and Luke P.
Yeah, Luke P's still there. So that means the ones that went home, fan favorite John Paul Jones is gone. And also the one that nobody knows, Mateo, he's gone.
For the first time, we were wrong
We were wrong.
Yeah. Dylan and Grant
are still there.
Yeah.
They got roses.
So.
I don't know why she barely talked to either of them. So the thing about her keeping Luke P, she admitted that there are several red flags with him. You don't ignore red flags. No. You just don't. To anybody
They're there for a reason.
They're there for a reason. To anybody out there who's starting a relationship, if you're like, ooh, there's a red flag are there for a reason. Like certain red flags, like she smacks her food when she eats. She doesn't do that. But that's something that you could work on. But like psychological red flags, emotional red flags.
Core characteristics.
Yes, core values and characteristics you run from.
Right.
And quite frankly, every guy in that room should see her through a less attractive lens.
I agree.
Because of her inability to cut ties with Luke P.
I think that it really shows an uglier side of her character. It diminishes her power as a woman. I don't see her as a strong female role anymore because to me she's making herself easy prey to a manipulator and she's settling for some guy who is not okay and there are red flags and so I lost a lot of respect for her, honestly. I think it's kind of pathetic.
It's not even settling. She's making excuses for the dude.
Yeah, and that's not okay. Why would you want to start a relationship like that?
With somebody who has red flags.
When you have however many other guys that
are good
don't
dudes.
see red flags with yet. I mean, come on. So she announces that the guys are going to Scotland, and once they are in Scotland, Mike gets the first one-on-one date.
Woohoo! So
Mike and Hannah basically explore the city of Scotland that they're in. I don't know what it was, but some city.
Just walked around.
They went to a candy shop, a whiskey tasting, a bookstore, just normal, like...
It's like a date kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was pretty boring and awkward for Mike.
Yeah, there was a lot of awkward conversation.
If you watch how she looks at Jed, Connor, Tyler, even that idiot Luke P, she doesn't look at Mike the same way she looks at them.
She looks at him like a friend.
Yeah, there was no spark from her.
No.
But he is like super into her.
He's like smitten, but I feel like she's not quite there.
No,
not at all. She's not really that into him.
We think that she's into risk takes. Is that how you were saying that?
No.
She's into taking risks.
There it is.
What would be Jed's risk?
The fact that he's a starving artist, that's not really job security.
Connor's risk.
Connor just seems like a douchebag.
What is Tyler C's risk?
Again, he kind of seems like he might be a player.
Peter
Is a pilot. That's a dangerous job. I mean, he would
gone
be
all the time. What's the danger with Luke P, honey?
He's abusive and psychotic.
He's probably not physically abusive, but he's absolutely emotional and mentally abusive. So that's why we think that she's not really into Mike P.
Because he seems good.
Mike P? Is that his name?
No, it's just Mike.
Who's Mike P? Just making up contestants. Yeah.
I think Mike is just a really safe pick, and I think he's a good guy, and I think she's bored with it, honestly.
Yeah.
So.
It seemed also like she was talking at him rather than like to him. Yeah. She gave him the rose.
Yeah, and I mean, I think she probably, there's a part of her that does like him, but I just didn't see a whole lot of like connection.
Yeah, not a whole lot of connection.
After the one-on-one date, we had the group date.
And the big group date.
That included Devin, Tyler, Jed, Dylan, Grant, Connor, Dustin, Peter, Kevin, and Garrett. And so that left Luke P to be the next one-on-one. Yeah. So we'll get to that later. So for the group date...
I'm sorry. I'm so tired.
So for the group date, they basically did old Scottish games.
Scotland war stuff. That's how I described it.
You know, throwing axes, carrying milk jugs.
Milk jugs. They wrestled with kilts on and apparently weren't wearing undergarments. Everybody saw
the bits.
Allegedly. I don't know.
There were children there.
Yeah.
Maybe they were wearing, like, jock straps.
So on the group date, Jed ends up winning the Scotland games, if you will. Which he's getting more and more goofy, by the way.
I kind of don't like him.
Yeah, kind of
annoys me.
Yeah, he's a good dude, but he's just annoyed. I'm annoyed with him now. Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. So at the cocktail party, where they're sipping cocktails with their pinkies out, there was no well-dressed dude. I was kind of bummed. Well, Dylan let me down. But she's obviously still super into Jed. Immediately, you're like, wow, the way she looks at him is not nearly the way she looks at any other dude there. But she gets hot and heavy, man. She is not afraid to express her desires of attraction. She gets hot and heavy with Jed, sits in his lap. She gets hot and heavy with Peter. And also Tyler C. She lays Tyler C. down on a bed.
On the bed. What's funny, though, is that when she was with Peter, they were at a pool table area, and he was trying to be all, like, Rico Suave, and he, like, picked her up and was going to lay her on the pool table and banged her head on the light that was
and they had to readjust.
It was awkward. It was so awkward, but it didn't stop her from...
No. That was...
stuff.
I felt uncomfortable.
So on the group date, everybody, including Hannah, realizes that there was no drama whatsoever because, Luke P wasn't there. Shocker. So that, it made for...
Say shocker.
Shocker. Shock.
Whew, alright, so who gets the group rate dose? Why can't I say that? I cannot say group date Rose.
Group rate dose?
Group date Rose. Who gets it?
Jed.
Of course he does.
Jed, yeah.
She's into upside down triangle heads. The guy's like this. I'm Jed. I play guitar. This is some high quality YouTube content that you're getting right here.
I'm sure everybody's real happy they tuned in.
That leads us to the Luke P one-on-one. Oh my gosh, so much yet so little to get to with this.
Yeah.
So on Luke P's way out, all the guys are done with him. They don't listen to anything he says. They laugh at everything he says.
Yeah.
So on the way out, Garrett was like, so just keep our name out of your mouth.
And he goes, oh, I plan on it.
He goes, do you? Garrett might be my favorite.
I think he's my new favorite.
Yeah, he's cool, man.
He's
like
direct and confident and calm, and it works.
Yeah, he's confident, man. For Luke P and Hannah's one-on-one, they go off in the hills, and then she just wants to talk to him, and he just wants her to have clarity. They go walk around a deserted castle, and then they go have dinner. That was their
date.
But there was just so much talking with nothing getting solved.
It was just really boring and redundant, and I feel like Hannah knows that he's no good, and yet she cannot cut ties with him, and she keeps thinking that there's some good man behind these walls that he's put up. No.
It's not walls.
He's a psychopath.
Yeah.
Like, he cannot talk about his feelings.
No.
He's incapable of talking about feelings, and that's not okay. That's not normal.
No. She says, how does that make you feel, the fact that all the guys in there don't like him? And he says, I know the way they're treating me isn't right. A definition, I can't remember if it's either a sociopath or a psychopath, is a complete lack of emotions.
Incapable of feeling emotions.
That's what he's not their entire day together. He never said anything about how he felt.
No. He never gets emotional. He is a psychopath.
Yes.
There is nothing emotional and human going on behind those stupid eyes of his.
Yes. You remember when she said, I just don't know why the other guys don't like you.
Yeah. Because he's a psychopath.
They told her.
They've told her
to
why
her
they...
face.
Yeah.
We went from liking her to she annoys the crap out of me. The excuses that she's making for this one guy drives me nuts. It was painful to watch.
She even said, what if he's the guy I'm supposed to end up with and he's my forever? You really think that little of yourself, that you think your forever man is going to be manipulative and sketchy and weird and incapable of expressing emotions?
Mm-hmm. Physical attraction is a part of the equation for those out there in the public, but it's not the entire equation. Right. I was crazy physically attracted to my wife. However, if she would have turned into a psychopath loony bin, I would have said, wow, she's probably not the one for me.
Yeah.
That sucks. I'll live.
She's very immature, I think. She is so physically attracted to him that she cannot see past that, and she just wants him to be good, but he's just not. He's just not a good guy.
She's saying there's got to be more there. This isn't the person who he is, rather than just saying, this is who he is.
He literally told her, everybody he's ever met, no matter where, at school, work, wherever, everybody loves him.
Such an arrogant thing to say.
How cocky do you have to be to claim that everyone you've ever met loves you? Okay,
so to sum up, this is all just them talking on the lawn, by the way, in the grass. But to sum this up, like, if a relationship isn't going anywhere, because this is what she said. She's like, do I just need to wait it out because it's not going anywhere? And then one of the producers is like, yeah, just wait it out. If a relationship is not going anywhere, that doesn't mean waiting it out is going to change anything. Because people are who they are.
Especially at this point in life.
She admitted there's red flags and then thinks that stuff's going to change. Nothing's going to change. That dude is the way that he is. Move on with your life.
She feels like he hasn't been real with her in a long time, and he flipped it around and said, I feel like I haven't seen the real you in a long time.
That was at dinner. So we're at dinner now, and I couldn't believe that he did that. And you know what? She is so smitten with him. Just
it didn't even phase her.
Didn't even register. Does he have blue eyes?
I don't know. They always look black like a psychopath.
His chin is so long.
It is very
and
long.
Pointed.
And his eyebrows are very straight. And sometimes they go like that, and then like that, and then...
I hate the line of his beard. It doesn't go like...
with the jaw.
Down and with the jawline. It's like...
It's like he tried to contour his jaw
you
with
don't contour a jaw with a beard.
He also, in the midst of all this weirdness, he said he genuinely loves everything about her.
He's using the L word just to try to get out of everything that's happening.
He doesn't even know her. He
said twice that he's considering leaving. And then whenever Mike confronted him about that at the house, he goes, I never said that. I never said that. When did I say that? The dude is just, he's flying off the rails, but he's just still there because Hannah flippin' is smitten with him.
And I mean, honestly, their whole date was just back and forth, her being frustrated with him trying to tell her what she wants to hear. I mean...
And then she knows he's just saying what she wants to hear.
Because she told him that.
Ugh! It was the worst episode I've ever seen.
It was the worst episode, and it just annoyed me.
Yeah. So the one thing that they said that really got under my skin, Hannah said that some days she's on the front row of church, on her knees, crying her eyes out to God, and then, to quote her, then the next day she's a devilish B.I. To which Luke P's reaction was,
he's like,
yes, me too! Me too!
Oh, yeah.
Listen, if you claim to follow God and you read the Bible, you should be well aware of how it says not being lukewarm. You can't
play both sides.
You can't play both sides. It doesn't work that way.
And you can't boast about
playing both sides.
Like, are we flawed? Yes.
Of course we are.
Do we fall short? Yes. All the time. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, sometimes I am a total B word. But you know what? I read my Bible and Jesus loves me.
But the thing that bothers me about Luke P saying that, his whole thing was that he's sold out for God and
Yeah.
he's living his life right. And then he's admitting that he's only halfway following. It just doesn't work that way. So the episode ends with her taking the rose to Luke P, and she just basically says, I can't give this to you yet.
And cut.
And end of sode. Another to be continued. The Luke saga continues.
They make you think that he's going to get sent home.
Yeah.
But I called it from the start. I told Joey while it was airing, I said, she's not going to give him a rose, but she's not going to send him home. She's going to keep him around for more time.
You're probably absolutely right. Whenever they gave us the look ahead last week, they made it seem like Jed and Tyler C were going against each other. Never happened. It was just very clever editing. But in this week's look ahead, Garrett seems to be apologizing to Hannah for something. She's in tears. She tells all the guys that she's just kind of over it. She's talking to Chris Harrison, and Chris Harrison is like, can you be there?
Still do this?
Yeah, can you still do this? Luke P is obviously still there. The look ahead ends with him still in Scotland praying. I mean, all we know about next episode really is that Luke P's still there. In one of the earlier previews, there's a shot of Luke P yelling at Garrett. I think this coming episode might be that shot.
Yeah, but overall, this episode was super boring, super frustrating, super annoying.
So our predictions as far as who's going home next week, hopefully we get this right. I think Devin is going to be going home. I just think there's not enough connection there. And
I'm going to stick with my pick from last week and say Grant. I still don't think there's anything to him. So
he just seems to be hanging out. Has he talked to Hannah at all?
I don't know. He just looks like one of the bros hanging out.
Yeah.
And just happens to
Maybe she just thinks he needs friends. All right, well, thanks for hanging out with us and listening to all our rants.
Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe.
Oh, yeah, subscribe.
If you haven't watched our latest
Gender
video,
reveal.
we reveal that we're having a...
Watch the video.
Yeah, check it out. We'll link it down below. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next week.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
This was the worst episode.
Of us doing it?
No, of The Bachelor. I mean, just even redoing it.
Mm-hmm.